when it comes down. So this is our front center panel, and going to the right side of the front center is the port side. So the other port side, and to the left side of front center is your starboard side. Now, if this were a aft enclosure, your front panel here would be called the aft center, and when facing aft, when you go to the right, this would be starboard side, and the left would be port side. It's flip-flopped for forward and aft. But since this is forward, I'm going to change my layer here. I'm going to offer the offset 0.75 to get the label off of the glass line. I'm going to offset 0.75 inward of the view line. Now, this is front center panel, like we just said. I'm going to grab the front center and I'm going to drag it down to the bottom and try to place it in the center bottom of the panel. Now, as we discussed with a forward enclosure, going to the right side will be our port side. So how it goes is going to go P1, P2, P3. And we'll keep going so forth, onwards, backwards. So I'm going to grab P1. For this one, we're going to place it within the bounds of the offset we made towards the forward edge of that panel. This is the forward edge because it is going towards the front center. It's facing that direction. This would be the aft edge of the P1 panel. It is facing away from the front center. So we're going to align all of our pieces in that sort of convention, putting them on the forward edge. Three. You'll want to align it two here. Sometimes you'll see we'll rotate the number. I'm going to actually stick it like that here. Alright. Now there are no more P panels, so we don't actually need the rest of these or aft center. We're moving on to starboard side. So S1, S2, S3. Put that in there. Rotate it. And move it slightly in. When you're moving, you'll see it kind of snaps to certain points, and that's dictated by your snaps here. Sometimes you don't want it to snap and you can't get exactly where you want it because of that. But if while you're trying to move it somewhere, if you hold down the Alt button, it will release it from the snaps and you can drag it anywhere and not worry about snaps interfering with where you want to put it. So I'm going to hold Alt to put it where I want in that case. Rotate this again. Rotate it in line. And there we go. Our enclosure panels are labeled correctly. Into training, we'll pull it up here. Go down to enclosures. Where did I put that? Should have put it in there. don't actually have that in training. We'll throw a little tab in there for this forward, aft. Believe I did though. No, I don't see that. Glass. Come back up here. This is going to be strata glass. That will be, you will be told during the review what type of glass it is. It will be either strata or acrylic or poly. In the case of poly, you'll also use the acrylic labels for poly glass, but strata is what we're working with here. Same names, front, center, ports, starboard side, but for strata glass, you'll actually place the labels in the top uppermost as far as you can, all the way up against the cut line. You have to put the label all the way in the top against the cut line and align it as so. So there are our labels for our strata gas cut, and the last step before we finish this enclosure will be to create the cut for the VCP, or the back side of the enclosure. In order to do that, we will select all of the cut lines for the seam allowance on the enclosure panels, as well as the labels, and we will copy those off to the left hand side every time. And I'll do that same 300 I did for the glass. For the VCP, when you copy that over, you want to actually mirror those. So now you see the letterings are backwards, so they will recognize that out there and know that this is mirrored, and that way they can put this on the back side of the closure panel and it will fit correctly. Alright, now all of these are actually still their individual pieces. If you select one of these, it's only going to select that. What I want is to actually be able to select anything on here and select the whole entire panel. And you have a script to do that, and that requires you to be in the cut layer, and you need to have how it works is based off the cut layer and using that as a sort of bounding object. It'll group everything within that cut layer into a group. So you have to also make sure that the cut layer is a closed curve.